This is the 4-step program that I've developed to get rid of any sort of rut that you're in. I'm not gonna waste your time. The first step is to reduce your ego. So when you're in a rut and you're trying to make your life be better, oftentimes we have this nonsensical, hysterical, egotistical view inside of us. We somehow have this belief that we can just snap our fingers and say that tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow will be finally the day that we change things. If that belief is shared with you and you like relate to that at all, this first step is really important to you, okay? Because you can't do step 2, 3, 4. You can't do anything else if you don't acknowledge first that you are in a shit scenario. So the first step, acknowledge you're in a shit scenario and that it will take a lot of time and a consistent effort for you to get better. So you are not amazing. You cannot just snap your fingers and fix your life in one day. It takes months, it takes years. So the first step, reduce your ego. Get rid of hubris. Hubris is the downfall of man. Okay, hubris will be every man's downfall. Get rid of your hubris, get rid of your ego. Second thing is acknowledge. Fuck, am I spelling this right? Yeah, yeah. Acknowledge where you are. Acknowledge your current position, okay? Acknowledge your current state in life. Make sure that you know how much of a piece of shit you are right now. Because listen, bro, for the longest time, I was like, fuck, yeah, tomorrow's finally going to be the day. I'm going to fucking change my life. Hell yeah. I'm going to watch 8 Hamza videos tomorrow. And tomorrow, wake up, nothing would change. Nothing. Because of course nothing would change, right? I didn't actually do anything differently. And because I had that high ego in me, I had such high expectations for that day that would really be soul crushing because I thought I was up here. So there's a little chart, right? I thought I was up here. This is 0, this is 100. I don't even know if you can see, to be honest. I'm sorry if you can't. I'll zoom in. This is 0, this is 100, and this is the level I thought I was. So I thought I could change my life in one day. So I thought I was at the level 100, right? But then what would happen is tomorrow would come and I'd give a performance of level maybe like fucking 4 or some shit, some actual pathetic people. Like for example, I'd scroll the whole day, play video games the whole day. I'd waste the whole day. I wouldn't get anything productive done. I wouldn't study. I'd go to school and I'd fuck up a test or something, right? My performance would be 4, but my expectation would be 100. And what happens when your performance falls this much short, 96 points lower than your expectation? You feel like absolute shit. And when you feel like absolute shit, you cannot make any change. So get rid of your hubris, reduce your ego, acknowledge where you are. That's the first step. The second step is to identify your problems. Now, there's 2 ways to go about this. There's surface level, and then there's deep level. I guess I don't really have any fucking acronyms. The surface level ones are the problems that me and you can all fucking identify, right? Video games, scrolling. If I could write any fucking slower, scrolling, junk food, fucking jerking it, bro. Like these are the fucking problems we know. Okay, everyone knows these. Everyone knows these as problems. Doing these shit too much. It's like we know that. What we want when you identify your problems is not for the surface level shit because you don't need to purposely identify that. That's easy. We want the deep shit, the deeper reasons as to why you do these things that are above. So for example, some things that I discovered about myself, and the way you're going to do this is through reflecting. I'm going to go into this later on. So some deeper shit that I figured out myself is sometimes I'm missing a familial connection. Okay, that's not to say that like my parents are fucking abusive or anything, but that's just to say that sometimes, okay, I would not have the best relationship with my parents. When we get into an argument or something, right? And every single time we get into an argument, I would always, after every single argument, go in my bed and immediately start scrolling. So this is why you identify your problems, okay? Because these things above, video games, scrolling, junk food, jerking off your fucking meat, bro, these things are symptoms of your deeper level problems, okay? These things are all linked to your deeper problems, and solving your deeper problems automatically solves all of these dumbass surface level problems. So the first one, familial connection. I had arguments with my parents too often, right? I didn't really have that much patience. Whenever I would have an argument after, I would always just immediately go to scroll. I'd always immediately just go play video games. Always just indulge in junk food, whatever. Even though I knew I had work to do the following day, just because, this is like a deeper problem for me, right? Another deeper problem for me is probably like FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Because I've been a video gamer for such a long time in my life that whenever someone would invite me to play video games, even though I knew I wasn't supposed to, I knew I was supposed to lock in, fucking do mountains of work, I would get this fear of missing out. And because I was like, oh, but what if they're playing a super fun game? Well, what if they're talking about me right now? I would always end up being like, okay, fine, I'll hop on for an hour. And then an hour becomes 2, becomes 3, becomes 4. I'd end up playing like fucking the whole day of video games because of FOMO, because I had FOMO, the fear of missing out. And you can see how when you start to discover some of these deeper level issues that you have with yourself, it really like starts to highlight why you do the things you do. Like maybe you do junk food because you are stressed out, right? You stress out something and you often stress eat. So instead of trying to limit the amount of junk food you eat, what you should really be doing is figuring out why you're stressed out and solving that, because then you wouldn't be stress eating, right? If you're fucking jerking off, maybe you need like some like love and intimacy in your life, right? Maybe you just feel super lonely. So it's all about discovering these deeper level reasons as to why you do your bad habits that can really, really help you. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. So this is the part like where 90% of people are going to click off because I'm saying something that they don't want to hear. But this is not something I can just tell you. All of these things are shits you got to figure out on your own. And the way you're going to figure out on your own is through reflecting. Okay? Incorporate a reflection session every single day and just think about what your problems are, because I can't fucking tell you if you have FOMO. Like I don't fucking know you. I'm talking to you through a screen, bro. Like I don't know your like specific problems. Although you can, hit up my Instagram or my email in my YouTube channel if you want to talk further. But you have to do a lot of reflecting in order to figure out these deeper level problems. But I promise it's worth it, because if you know what your deeper level problems are and you hit the core of the issue, all of these fucking side effects go away. Okay, the third level to getting out of a rut is to gain any bit of control over your life. So when you're in a rut, you're gonna have absolutely no control whatsoever. You're gonna be like fucking gooning, playing video games, fucking eating junk food the entire day, right? And then you're gonna try and do shit, right? You're gonna be like, oh, maybe I should study. You study maybe 5 minutes, and you feel the pull of procrastination of your addictions back on your fucking dick. It's gonna tug on your dick and tug you all the way fucking back down. So we need to gain any amount of control over our life. And the way you're gonna do this is you're going to, let me see if I can just like fucking hide under here. If you're going to stack habits. Oh, I just hit a horrific squat, bro. Oh my God, my ass was out. You're gonna stack habits and you're going to, what's the word? Conjoin consistency. Now, this sounds like a bunch of rubbish bullshit, and it kind of is. I don't know why I said conjoin. That is not the fucking right word. But basically, you're going to stack the good habits, the habits that you actually need to do, with things that you are 100% consistent in. Now, everyone has two things that they're 100% consistent in their entire lives, provided you're not a fucking like complete bum, right? You either have school slash work, right? Everyone's gonna have school, everyone's gonna have their own work, like a job or something, or you have sleep. Everyone needs to go to sleep every day, right? So these are two sources of complete consistency everyone has in their lives. Maybe if you have any classes, right? Like if you take like an art class once a week, you do like basketball twice a week or something, you can do this as well. But just pick something, anything that you are 100% consistent in. And what you do is you stack a habit. So you add a habit either before or after one of these things that you are 100% consistent in. So the way I did this in my own life is that I had school, right? And every single day before I went to school, I would go to the gym. So the gym was the habit I chose to stack with school. Now, I'm a bit lucky. My location made it easy, okay? My gym is right the fuck next to my school. Like it's actually like a 30-second walking distance. So I'm lucky, okay? When I started going to school, when I got to high school, it made it really easy to go to the gym, because it was like, okay, well, I mean, the gym's right there, so obviously I should go. But basically, I started stacking the gym before the school. And what I noticed, what I know now, I didn't know this back then because I was really, really retarded back then. But what I know now is that some of that consistency from school, right, rubbed off on the gym. Because if I'm 100% consistent in school and I stack the gym with it, instead of saying like I go to the gym every day, I specifically say I go to the gym before school every day, then I don't know, the consistency sort of just like rubs off. It makes the gym a lot easier to go because these two things are together. And the second way I did this is with my night routine, because you have to go to bed every single day, right? And if you have to go to bed every single day, that's 100% consistent. You might as well stack something with it. And the thing you're going to stack with it, you're going to stack a night routine. And when you wake up, you're probably going to stack a morning routine. So I started to gain a little bit of control over my life through the gym and the night routine. And this was really, really important because I don't think you understand how important this is. For anyone who's in a rut right now, you are like stuck. It feels so fucking hard to do absolutely anything. You are literally stuck. It feels like you're fucking immovable, like you're a fat ass, like 800-pound dude with no legs. Like you cannot move at all anywhere, and you have no control over your day. So just the fact that I started going to the gym semi consistently, and just the fact that I started going to sleep semi consistently, and when I say semi, I mean like I did it like twice a week. You know what I mean? Was like sort of like a miracle because the entire year before this, I've been trying to improve. I've been trying to go to the gym, to go to bed on time, but there was literally no consistency, nothing at all. And once I started to go to the gym semi consistently, like twice a fucking week, then I started to add on and I just kept trying and it became more and more consistent. And I did other tactics too, right? I began to get an accountability partner, a gym buddy. And when you have a gym buddy, that really makes it really easy. For my night routine, I started to add like timers and shit, right? To tell me when to start getting ready to bed. I started to optimize. I started to watch hella fucking Andrew Huberman, like sleep podcasts and shit. And so these habits that I used to be semi-consistent in, I started to become more and more consistent. Instead of hitting the gym like twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, 4 times a week. And then now, until eventually, I can just hit it every single day and I don't have to think about it. Same thing with the night routine, right? I went to bed at the correct time, maybe like once a week, but then I try more often. I just keep trying and I add things, right? I'd add timers. I watch hella sleep podcasts. I optimize my night routine and it eventually becomes twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, yada, yada, yada. But the main thing for step 3 is to gain some control, any amount of control over your life. Okay. Even the smallest bit, like once a week, right? You want that thing to sort of be your anchor, your fucking stepping stone to like climb out of this like rut hellhole. The fourth, my favorite step, is to hammer that shit. Because you have a little bit of control now, right? You have the maybe 1 or 2 habits you might be semi-consistent in. The gym, maybe you're just going to sleep. These 2 things that you chose. Now it's just time to just fucking hammer, just keep going, add that shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, okay? Just for like a year, like 2 years, okay? The way I'm talking about it right now, maybe it sounds like this was like a month-long journey, 2 months. That's a lie. Like it's like a year long, like 2 years for me, okay? So what's important is that you just fucking keep on trying. You just never fucking stop. You just consistently try to hit the gym more often, try to go to the night, try to follow your night routine more often, try to morning routine more often, maybe read more often, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to give you a bunch of tips to sort of help you on this, right? The first one is to reflect and reflect often. So we're going to bring this back to identifying problems, right? Reflecting. You should have a reflection session every single day as part of your night routine because the important part of reflecting, and I cannot understate how important this is. Reflecting not only allows you to establish your deeper level like issues, right? But reflecting is also going to allow you to sort of like carefully curate your gym and your night routine and your habits and your own life specifically for you. Because I've been productively procrastinating for a while. I've been like fucking watching all the bullshit self-improvement videos, right? So I knew all these like fucking tactics, like fucking habits. I've read Atomic Habits, I've read like Subtle Art, I've read all this shit, right? But the main thing is I didn't know how to make it work for my life. I knew how these tactics, I knew how these tactics should work for like Mark Manson, for fucking James Clear, right? Like I know how these tactics work for other people, but I didn't know how they work for me. And the way I started to learn how to like optimize these things for me is through reflecting. So every single night I just reflect 10 minutes and I just think about what I did during the day and what could have been better. Okay, this is how you improve every single day. So this is probably one of the most important things. This is why the night routine is actually so important because if you have a good night routine, chances are you're going to put reflecting in there. But just reflect every day. This is exactly how I do it. I just think, okay, what did I do today? I did this, 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 and then after that, I played a bunch of video games that I shouldn't have played. Well, why did I play video games? I played video games because I felt tired. Why did I feel tired? Because yesterday I didn't go to bed. And yesterday, why didn't I go to bed? Because my friends asked me to play video games and I said yes. And then I ended up procrastinating my sleep for like 3 hours. Okay, what's my deeper level thing? FOMO. You see how there's like this sort of like thought process here behind this shit. So reflecting, Super important. The next tip is to give yourself reminders or sort of motivation. Now, it sounds really cringe, but the best way to go about this is to like put on like a 5 or 10 minute like motivational speech the second you wake up, or maybe any sort of time during your day where you need some extra motivation. Now, I thought it was cringe as fuck, but I still did it and it does work. So basically, what I would do is during in the morning, right? The first thing I would do, put on my headphones, open my phone, and just search up like 10-minute motivational speech, 15 minutes, some David Goggins Navy SEAL bullshit, right? And I just listened to that, and it's kind of cringe. And they got like the fucking loud music, like Sigma music going on, but it does, end up giving you some motivation. And if you can cheat, why not cheat? So give yourself reminders, give yourself motivation throughout the day. And the last tip I can give you is accountability partners. It is so powerful, okay? Because it's really hard to make progress when you're inert, when you're static, when you're in a rut and you're not moving. But there's a things that can like force you to make progress, right? And one of them is an accountability partner. For example, if I get a gym buddy, right? And I have a workout tomorrow at 7, I can't procrastinate that workout because I have a gym buddy. Because if I just don't show up, they'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why weren't you there? So accountability partners they force you to be productive. They force you to follow your good habits. So like, for example, for the gym, definitely get a fucking gym buddy. That'll make you 100% consistent. There's a, like, for example, night routine that's a little bit harder to do, right? But something you could do is maybe like get a tracker app, right? Track how many days or how many hours you sleep. The one I use is Sleep Cycle. And then maybe you have to send that to a friend every single day just to keep yourself accountable, right? And then now, if you fuck up your sleep, you still have to send it to your friend and you have to be like, oh, but he's gonna see that I only slept 3 hours, like a little bitch. And then maybe you have more consistency. But accountability partners and things like classes and shit really, really just force you to be productive. Because again, right? Like if I have a class, if I have a stupid ass, like if I had like badminton, I play badminton, right? If I had badminton class every single day, not every single day, every Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m., I'm not gonna miss it because I paid good money for that shit. So it also just forces you to be productive, forces you to get out and actually do something. But that's basically the video. That's sort of my 4-step process to getting out of a rut. This comes from a D1 rutter, so you know you can trust me. I should have said that at the fucking beginning. Why am I saying it now? You finished the video. The fuck? Obviously, trust me. Okay, anyways, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash like, smash sub. I'm trying to grow this shit, and it's quite small right now, so you can help me out. Like I said earlier, I have my Instagram, my email, so if you want to reach out, please reach out. I would love to talk. I'd more than love to talk, actually, because it helps me too. But yeah, see you.